Welcome to Friend or Foe. I'm Kennedy, and I'll be your game show dealer. Want me to hit you? In a moment, these three players will have to choose between these potential partners. Three people who they've never met, never spoken to, never even winked at. Together, these new teammates will move through a world of trust, knowledge, and betrayal. They'll work together to build a trust fund and ultimately decide whether to share the money as friends or fight over it as foes here on Friend or Foe. Welcome back to Friend or Foe. It's time to meet our three players. Our first player is Susan.
I'm an administrative assistant. I enjoy camping and bar hopping.
Susan must have been hopping mad when she pushed an enemy's Jeep in front of a fire hydrant and had it towed. Next, we have Doug.
I'm a writer. For fun, I collect antiques, especially vintage toy monkeys.
But Doug wasn't monkeying around when he sent his final rent check to his landlord and a cockroach-infested package. Ugh. And finally, there's Leah.
I'm a furniture designer. I like punk music, and I once sold the most Girl Scout cookies in the U.S.
Leah also sold a big lie to her boyfriend. She told him that the hickey on her neck was a bruise from falling down. Right. All right, we've met our three players. Now it's time to meet their potential partners. Your first potential partner is Skyler.
Hi, I'm a personal trainer. I'm into motorcycles, and I do anything to help a friend.
Oh yes, anything. Skyler once stole his dad's car to lend to a buddy for a ride. Next, there's Marsha.
Hi, I'm a dentist. I help rescue abandoned animals, and I have ridden in the rodeo.
Riding in rodeos requires a lot of control. That's perfect for Marsha because she's a control freak. If she doesn't get her way, she throws tantrums. And finally, you have Valentin.
Hi there, I'm a drama student for fun. I enjoy rock climbing and juggling.
But Valentin has a hard time juggling his friendships and his love life. He's always standing up his pals to go out with women. Well, players, those are your choices. It's time to pick your partners. Susan, who did you choose?
I chose Skyler.
Doug, who will it be?
It will be Marsha.
And Leah, who did you pick today?
I chose Skyler.
All right, Doug, you and Triple Marsha are officially paired up. And Skyler, very popular. According to the Friend or Foe rules, if two people pick you, you get to pick your partner. So who's it going to be, Sue or Leah?
I'll go with Leah.
All right, then, Sue, you and Valentin are now a pair, and our teams have been formed. The test of knowledge and of trust is about to begin when we return to Friend or Foe. Welcome back to Friend or Foe. You're luscious. Our three teams are in game position, and each of their stations have been wired so they can hear my voice. How's everyone doing? Oh, Skyler, Leah, how about some energy? Oh, good job, people. Now I feel good. All right, well, I'm going to place $200 in each of your trust funds so you guys can start out with a little something for the road. And in this round, there are 4 questions worth $500 each. Now, the two of you in each booth must agree on the answer and lock it in at the same time in order to score. You'll have 15 seconds for each question. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Let's start round 1. Which of these TV commercial campaigns ended with, "And we thank you for your support"? Pepperidge Farms, Motel 6, Bartles and James, or Orville Redenbacher? And begin.
Motel 6.
Okay. I'm going to go with you in that.
Okay.
You seem to know.
Motel 6.
Okay.
Okay.
Pepperidge Farms?
Well, now why do you say that?
I think the old guy used to say that, like, thank you for your support.
Okay,
I think,
that's good.
yeah.
The Pepperidge Farm?
Motel 6.
Okay.
Everyone has locked in. All right, Sue, you and Valentin selected Pepperidge Farms. Doug, you and Marsha went with Motel 6. Leah, you and Skyler also said Motel 6. And the correct answer is Bartles and James, the two little old guys. Wine cooler coolers. Don't worry, there's plenty of wine coolers backstage. All right, here's your next question. What is stored in a camel's hump? Is it water, muscle, fat, or cartilage? And begin.
Water.
Water.
So yeah, water.
That's the story.
Water.
All right, our three teams have locked in. Everyone came to a decision pretty quickly. Sue, you and Valentin said water. Doug, you and Marsha also said water. And make that a triple for Leah and Skyler. You guys also clicked in with water. And you're all wrong because the correct answer is fat. A camel's fat-filled hump can weigh as much as 80 pounds. The same as my fat-filled hump that I sit on every day. All right, here's your next question. Which Cheers alumni has starred in the most sitcoms? Kelsey Grammer, Kirstie Alley, Ted Danson, or Rhea Perlman? And begin.
Ted Danson. Go with Ted Danson?
I think so.
Okay.
I think Kelsey Grammer.
Okay, then let's go with that. I'm not too sure.
Kirstie Alley, how many, does she have another series?
I believe Kirstie Alley. I think people
think so?
like her a lot, yeah.
Okay, let's go with Kirstie.
All right, our three teams have locked. Sue, you and Valentin said Kirstie Alley. Doug, you and Marsha thought it might be Ted Danson. Leah, you and Skyler thought Kelsey Grammer. Because you like Seattle, I'm taking it. The correct answer is Ted Danson. All right, nice work, Doug and Marsha. You guys move into the lead with $700. All right, here's your final question of the first round. And since Skyler and Leah are tied with Sue and Valentin with $200, you guys can still make it into the next round. Come on, let's get this one. Which of these is an anagram for the word dormitory? Timid Rory, mortuary, my tin door, or dirty room? And begin.
Dirty room.
I say dirty room.
Okay, go with, let's lock it in.
Would it be number one? Is that where you can make a word out of words out of the word?
I think so. Yeah.
You want to try one?
Yeah, let's just go with that.
She's not a mortuary. Mortuary.
All right, everyone has clocked in. Sue, you and Valentin, the juggler, thought it might be mortuary. Doug, you and Marsha, the dentist, thought it might be dirty room. And Leah, the punk rocker, and Skyler went for timid Rory. The correct answer, dirty room. So Doug and Marsha, you guys have $1,200. So you are definitely going to the final round, and we have a tie. Sue and Valentin, you are tied with Leah and Skyler. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask you a tiebreaker question. Whoever gets it right moves on. If you both get it right, whoever answers it fastest moves on. So here we go. In the comic strip Peanuts, what breed of dog is Snoopy? Schnauzer, Dalmatian, Poodle, or Beagle? And begin.
Isn't it?
Beagle. Beagle. Beagle.
Both teams have clocked in. Sue and Valentin, you guys said Beagle. Leah and Skyler, you also said Beagle, and the correct answer is Beagle. Leah and Skyler, since you guys answered that one the fastest, that means you are moving on to the next round with your luscious $200. Sue and Valentin, it's been a miserable show for you guys so far, but there is $200 you guys can split. As friend or foe, you guys have to walk over to the trust box. Oh, Valentin, Sue. Good job so far, guys. Laugh now. Inside this trust box, you each have a button which you'll use to indicate friend or foe. This decision will determine how your massive trust fund is divided. Now, if you both choose friend, you'll split your earnings, each getting $100 in American currency. But if one of you chooses friend and the other breaks trust by choosing foe, foe takes the entire $200, friend gets nothing. Now, if each of you selects foe, which will be quite a shock, then neither of you get anything, you both leave empty-handed and crestfallen. So the moment has come. Now it's time to decide. Friend or foe, each of you put a hand inside the trust box. All right, you guys, with $200 on the line, please take your hands out of the box, put them on the table so I can see them. There's a lot of money here. I don't know if either of you are shifty. Let's find out who's friend or foe. And you're both friends. Come on now, $100 each. That's beautiful. 2 teams remain. Will the remaining teammates find Zen and be one? Or will bad karma kill their dogma? Find out when we return to friend or foe. Welcome back to round 2 of Friend or Foe. Leah and Skyler are trailing. They've got $200, but they're almost nipping at the heels of Doug and Marsha, who have $1,200. But it's only going to take one question for them to catch up, because in round 2, we double the value of each question to $1,000. You guys ready to play?
Yes.
All right, here's your first question for round 2. The male and female leads of which film have conceived a child together in real life? Eyes Wide Shut, Cruel Intentions, Proof of Life, or Vanilla Sky? And begin.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Positive.
Reese Witherspoon and another dude, Ryan Phillippe.
All right, both teams have locked in. Doug, you and Marsha said Eyes Wide Shut, thinking it was Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise. Leah, you and Skyler said Cruel Intentions. And the correct answer is Cruel Intentions. Nick and Tom adopted their children. They didn't conceive the children, but Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Phillippe have a lovely young daughter named Eva Elizabeth. Here's your next question. If the president and the vice president of the United States both die, who then becomes the president? Is it the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, the Speaker of the House, or the Chief of Staff? And begin.
Secretary of State, I think.
Do you think? I'm not positive. So
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think it's Secretary of State.
Okay, all right. Okay.
All right, both teams have locked in. Doug, you and Marsha think it's the Secretary of State. Leah, you and Skyler also think it's the Secretary of State. And the correct answer is the Speaker of the House. Secretary of State is 5th in line. And here's your next question. Which of these toys was introduced first? Cabbage Patch Doll, Furby, My Little Pony, or Tickle Me Elmo? And begin.
I think Cabbage Patch.
I think you're right.
Okay, I go Cabbage Patch.
Okay.
All right, both teams have locked in. Doug and Marsha, you went to the Cabbage Patch for those cute little dolls with the birth certificates. Leah and Skyler, you also think it was the Cabbage Patch Doll. The answer is My Little Pony, My Little Pony. You can comb my pretty tail. I smell like a horse. All right, well, you guys are actually tied up. Each team has $1,200. This is your final question in the round. Whoever gets this right is moving on to the final round. So here it is, your final question. If today is Tuesday, what is the day before tomorrow? Is it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday? And begin.
It's not Monday?
I think it's Monday.
Okay.
Okay, Monday.
Today
Come
is
on, let's
yesterday,
go.
which is Monday.
Monday, okay.
All right, both teams have locked in. Doug, you and Marsha think the answer is Monday. Leah and Skyler, you also think the answer is Monday. And the correct answer is Monday. We have a tie. Both of our teams have $2,200 apiece, and we averaged the time it took for them to answer the questions correctly. Leah and Skyler, you took the least amount of time. That means you guys are moving on to the final round. The dark horse. You started with only $200. Now you're going to the finals. Doug and Marsha, you took the longest amount of time to answer the questions. Sorry about that. However, you guys could split the money, or you could fight over it as friend or foe. You got to make the walk to the trust box. Welcome to the trust box. Marsha, Doug, your trust fund is worth $2,200. But before you guys make your decision, I'm going to give each of you a moment to speak your mind. Let it all hang out. Entrails and everything. Doug, you go first. Why should young Marsha trust you?
Well, my particular flaw that I had was that I put roaches, a check inside a roach motel and sent it to my landlord, who is, I want to point out, a sleazy landlord who is exploiting his tenants. I don't normally do bad things to good people, and you seem like a good person based on what I know about you.
What do you think, Marsha?
Well, My fatal flaw was that I was a control freak, and I just say that I got that reputation by being in business. But I also know that in business, teamwork is something that is needed for success.
All right, but what about trust? Can you trust this guy?
Yeah, I can trust him.
All right, well, let's see. You've both had your say. Now, each of you slip a hand inside the trust box. It's time to choose friend or foe. Time's up. Your decision is locked. Doug, Marsha, hands on the table. $2,200 is on the line. Let's see what you guys have decided to do with it. You went friend and you went foe, Doug. That means Doug is taking home all the money. Oh, sure. It's always a game when you win, isn't it, Marsha? All right. When we return, money and alliances will be on the line as our two remaining players go for the big money and then go mano a mano to determine if they're friend or foe. We'll be right back. We are back with our final round of friend or foe. Leah and Skyler have amassed a total of $2,200 in their trust fund. Leah, Skyler, we're going to give you a chance to earn thousands more if you can correctly answer 10 questions. Each question is worth $500. If you get a question wrong, you have a strike against you. 3 strikes, and the round is over. However, if you answer all 10 out of 10, we'll double your entire trust fund for a grand total of $14,400. 60 seconds, 10 questions. Take a breath. It's time to play right or wrong. Red or green? Top of vertical traffic light.
Green.
Red.
Right. Certs or Tic Tacs? 2 minutes and 1.
Search.
I don't know.
Search. Just go with search.
Right. Donnie or Marie? Osmond, who's a little bit country.
Marie.
Marie. Okay.
Right. Right hand or left hand? U.S. Army salute.
Right hand.
Right. Ren or Stimpy? The Chihuahua.
Stimpy.
I think it is Stimpy.
Stimpy.
Wrong. Weakness or strength? Achilles heel.
That's your weakness.
Strength. No weakness. Yeah, that's right.
Right. Wyoming or Minnesota? Mountain time.
Minnesota.
Wyoming? I think it's Wyoming.
Okay, Wyoming.
Right. Shrub or bug? Ocotillo.
We gotta go. Bug.
Wrong.
We just-
Pocahontas or Sacagawea? Lewis and Clark.
Pocahontas.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. The round is over. However, you did get 6 questions right, so we're going to add an additional $3,000 to your total, giving you $5,200. Nice work for just a few questions. The last question for you guys, Leah and Skyler. What are you guys going to do with the money? You're going to have to decide as you make the final walk to the trust box. We have arrived at our final test of trust. Leah, Skyler, you guys know your options. Leah is a punk rocker. However, is she going to hey, ho, oppress foe? Skyler took his dad's car for a joyride. Is he going to take a ride with your money? So I'm going to give you guys each a moment to say your piece, little sacred time. Leah, you go first.
I know I cheated on my boyfriend, but that was in high school. I never ever screw over my friends. Like she said, we came this far together. We were totally lucky, so we might as well split the money.
What do you have to say?
I want to say that we had a lot of fun together and we worked well as a team, and there is no I in team.
All right, all we can do is hope and pray. Please slip a hand inside the trust box. It's time to choose friend or foe. Time's up, guys. Your decision has been locked. Please place your hands on the table. Skyler, do you think she was being pretty sincere when she said she hoped you guys go friend?
She looks innocent.
Does he look like he wants to go for a joyride?
Well, he stole the car for his friends, so.
All right, well, $5,200 is up for grabs. Let's find out if you're friend or foe. Skyler, you went foe. Let's find out how Leah voted. Leah, you also went foe. You guys. You could have had $2,600 each. One of you could have taken all the cash. But no, we had to go foe. All right, well, you guys did play a nice game, and your grandma gets to see on TV, so that's exciting. Thank you both for playing. We've enjoyed having you here. You're a couple crazy kids. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on The Game, where knowledge can make you money and money can make you a friend or foe.